interest.
In the public interest.
In the public interest.
With Jim Sirianni.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of In the Public Interest. I'm Jim Sirianni, your host. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend. Boy, do we have an exciting, frightening, and thrilling, fun show lined up for this week. We're going to talk with the folks from World Dance for Humanity and Thrill the World. If you haven't guessed already, we're going to talk about Thriller, World Dance for Humanity, and Thrill the World, and all these events that are coming up for perfect timing for Halloween. By the way, World Dance for Humanity has been around since 2010, and my guest this week is Janet Reineck. She started World Dance for Humanity about 6 years ago, and it's called World Dance for Humanity. We're going to talk about the big Thriller event that's coming up next weekend for Halloween and all the other events that are going on around it. Welcome to In the Public Interest, Janet Reineck. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thank you, Jim. It's great to be here.
First of all, tell me about World Dance for Humanity. How did that start?
It started in 2010 as a dance class in Santa Barbara that would give women the opportunity to relax and let go and do dances from around the world. Great music, the best music we can find. But at the same time, all of the class proceeds would go to charity. And my background is in humanitarian aid. I'm an anthropologist, but also with a dance degree, and had worked a long time in the field doing humanitarian aid work. And at a point, I just said, it's time to put all this together, and I know people are really busy, and it's nice to be able to get your exercise, take a class, have a wonderful community that you're part of, and at the same time be doing something for the world. So that was the original idea, and that's what's been happening.
Nice. Now, tell me the connection between Thrill the World and your organization. I guess how does that connect?
So Thrill the World started, I think, about 8 years ago. It was started by a woman named Inez Markovic. And she wanted to her goal was to beat the Guinness Book of World Records for a simultaneous dance event. So that was really what she had in mind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so it had to be a certain length of time in order to be part of this competition with the world. And so she created a somewhat simplified version of Thriller so that everybody could do it. You didn't have to be a dancer. Pretty easy to learn. She kind of scaled down Michael Jackson's version a little bit and made it long enough to be able to compete in the Guinness Book. And so she got it going. And those first few years, about 10,000 people all over the world on every continent except Antarctica. So
it'd be a little cold there.
Yeah. So it's really a one-of-a-kind thing. And that's what part of the thing is so thrilling to us, actually so exciting about it for us, is that you are doing the same thing as people all over the world at the same moment in time. And it's the only chance to do that. It's the only
neat
thing of its kind.
So you'll be doing that again with other groups all across the world?
Yes.
Nice.
So on the 29th, I mean, we're already having flash mobs. We've been having them for weeks all over town. But on the 29th, that's the big event, October 29th. That's Saturday afternoon at the Sunken Gardens. Exactly 3:00 is when we will rise from the lawn, from the grass, from the ground. We will rise and start doing Thriller. Exactly. There's a countdown. There's an international countdown that you actually, you link into so that you're all exactly synced up.
Oh,
and
nice.
now but to be clear, it's in two hemispheres so that nobody's doing it in the middle of the night. So in Europe, they're clocking off Greenwich Meridian time. So in Europe, it's at a different time. But here, for example, we'll be doing it the same time as Mexico City or in places in South America. Mexico City is one of the biggest.
So the time
thrillers.
difference isn't that huge between
exactly.
northern and south.
Exactly.
So one hemisphere does it at one time in the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah, so no, it's east to west, as it were. So,
Okay.
for example, we're doing it at 3 this year. New York is doing it at 6 o'clock
Okay,
p.m.
gotcha.
Hawaii, and they when they do it, they come out of the ocean. They are doing
Oh, neat.
yeah. So they
Oh, the
do it at
zombie
noon.
costumes?
Yeah, totally.
And they come out of the
So,
water.
yeah.
Neat.
So, or have done in the past, but so they are doing it at noon. We're at 3, so that there is this
Right.
real clear feeling that you are beyond yourself, beyond your borders, and really doing something that crosses into the world. And at the same time, it is Michael Jackson, it is Thriller, and it's a beat and a groove that has been felt all over the world. So
Sure.
that's part of the magic of this event.
It's so amazing, too, when you think about an artist like Michael Jackson. I mean, he really does. Everybody knows who Michael Jackson is, even in, third world countries that, don't have a lot of access to media or whatever. They know Michael Jackson.
So, I have to tell you, so we were in Rwanda this summer. We'll get into that. I mean, our work is in Rwanda. We were there in July, and after we were doing a lot of Rwandan dancing, we always dance with the people. And at the end, we always have a kind of a dance party. We put on some Michael Jackson, and there were village kids, and these are kids who've never seen, they don't have electricity. I mean, they haven't seen TV, nothing. When that music came on, they were just doing sort of Michael Jackson moves.
Oh, how fun.
And it's a beat and a feel that communicates cross-culturally, just destroys all barriers, and everybody can feel it.
Now, I understand that before he passed, Michael Jackson did see this Thrill the World event?
Yeah, so that year he flew, someone flew him in an airplane above the Los Angeles Thriller. So he has actually one time seen Thrill the World done and all this massive people, hundreds of people doing it in LA.
So he was flying over LA as
He
they were
was flying
doing
over LA on purpose to see it.
To see it, yeah, of course. Oh, how neat that he did see it. Because for some reason I was under the impression that this happened after he had passed, but
it wasn't like a memorial to him or anything. It
Right.
started definitely before that, yeah.
Nice. And do you know about how many countries are participating?
So now, gosh, I haven't looked in the last few days, but I would say there's about 8 or 9, 10 countries right now, places all over America that are doing it, Canada, in all over Europe, and it grows right up to the last minute. And the deal is,
Oh, wow.
and the way that it, and of course people are doing that don't necessarily register on the site, so. People have been doing it for years. Like we've been doing it for 6 years, and a lot of people have been. But the thing is that the way when she founded it, her idea is that everybody, wherever they were doing Thriller, would be raising money for charity.
Okay.
In some fashion, whatever charity they work with. For example, Oakland, which has a really big Thriller, they were benefiting their local cat rescue because it's Halloween.
Oh, right,
Whereas
cats, yeah.
our Thriller is for our Rwanda Education Fund, and so the entire intention is to be able to send 100 kids to school in Rwanda. That's why we do it.
Now, I understand also there's a connection to a local charity, Notes for Notes. Tell us about that one.
So, World Dance for Humanity, we're very grounded in our community in Santa Barbara, as well as in the communities we work with in Rwanda. But in Santa Barbara, we were looking for a charity for a long time that we felt we could really help, even though, with limited funds and people, but we sort of started this relationship with the West Side Boys and Girls Club some years ago. They started doing Thriller with us. And ever since then, we have made donations of monetary donations, but also volunteered. They are very much in need of volunteers to work with these kids. They have 100 kids there after school every day. And so our world dancers go and volunteer after school and work one-on-one with these kids who really, really need the help desperately. And so we work with the kids. But then on the flip side of that, the West Side Boys and Girls have adopted a Rwandan student. That is, they sponsored her to go to high school, a girl named Clarice. She's now finished high school. And so the boys and girls are now going to be sponsoring a new student who's in grammar school in Rwanda called Boaz. And so these kids who generally are sort of a very marginalized population in Santa Barbara and really, really struggling in many ways, they are the ones helping these kids who have no chance to go to school unless they have some outside help. So these kids are the ones that are helping these other kids, a half a world away, which is a very exciting thing for them to do.
Nice. And I understand, too, that part of what Notes for Notes is trying to do is, I guess, have their studios for the kids open on the weekends?
Yeah, they're working on that, and it may be that we're working on different possibilities, what our funds would do. But again, the thrust is really on people to people. It's really getting people to volunteer there, and that's what World Dance has gravitated toward. But then we're also teaching Thriller. So the West Side boys and girls are learning Thriller, and they'll be doing it with us.
Oh, nice.
And so I found out today that the Santa Maria boys and girls, who've been doing it for years with us, they're saying that 45 of those kids are coming down to the courthouse on the 29th. Many of these kids have never seen Santa Barbara. They've never seen the ocean, and they're coming down to do Thriller with us. So that's very exciting. We have about 13 organizations, Hollister School, La Colina, Goleta Valley, Vieja Valley, and other sort of smaller groups are doing Thriller with us, learning the dance. Our dancer, Christy Morris, has been out in the schools teaching it. And all these kids are invited to come do it together as well as at their own Halloween celebrations.
So if somebody wanted to participate in Thriller, how do they go about signing up?
They just go on our website, which is worlddanceforhumanity.org, and they click on Thriller. And there you find all the information and see when the practices are. We have 6 practices a week right now. Montecito YMCA, Hitchcock YMCA, Santa Barbara Dance Center, and at Alameda Park. So it's 6 times a week, and people can still come and learn the dance. We teach it up to the last minute, basically.
So they can come all 6 days a week, or
they can come
one day
all
a week,
6 days, or one day. They can come one time, or they can come a lot of times. We have 177 people signed up to do Thriller right now, just not including the schools, just the individuals who've signed up to dance. And so they can do whatever they want, or they can learn it online. Right on our website is a really good teaching video, so they can learn it that way, or they can come to class. It's really fun at rehearsals, and
nice.
Our thrust is really, as in our dance classes, as in Thriller, it's get over yourself, just sort of let go, become part of the world, let go of the things that are hanging you up, and don't worry about yourself so much. Just dance and enjoy it, and go with the music, go with the community,
and be a zombie for a couple days.
And the zombie thing, some people would say, well, that's not my wheelhouse. I'm not a zombie type.
Right.
But it's really for me about sort of coming alive, going from unconsciousness to consciousness, and that the magic of all that, and then doing it with hundreds of people. It's compelling, it's exciting, and really fun.
It's very exciting. I was just thinking that when Thriller first came out and the video first came out, and I remember it was like a huge publicity thing, and watching it on TV, on just, I think it was regular TV even, it wasn't MTV or whatever. And I remember that, like they had the disclaimer in the beginning about how this has nothing to do with the occult, and it's that Michael Jackson wanted to make sure that people knew that there wasn't anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And it was just such an amazing thing, because music videos, up to that point this was like a mini movie.
Yes.
And it wasn't something that usually it was just a band up there playing, in a video. And this was like the first video, I think, where
and it's a really cool video.
Huge production.
I keep telling people who come to practice, go look at the original, because it's a super cool video. And then the dance doesn't happen, I think, until minute 5 or halfway.
I was going to say
through.
the dance really isn't that much of the video.
But it's just very cool for people who don't consider themselves dancers to be able to, like I say, just let go, transcend the ego, and just kind of
just let it all
happen. Let it all happen. And because you're dressed as a zombie, nobody really can't recognize you anyway. So in addition to all the events I was going
to ask, so you have other events besides the main one at the
So we have
garden.
flash mobs this weekend. On State Street on Saturday evening, and then Sunday There's a surf and swap fest at down across from Ledbetter around noon on Sunday, and then after that we're going out to the pier to flash mob and around the art walk just for the fun of it. And then the weekend of the 29th and 30th. So the 29th is a dance party really from 1 o'clock on till 4 o'clock. We do Thriller at 3, but we also have a dance party out there and tons of makeup going on, zombie makeup.
So all kinds of activities leading up to the dance at
So
3.
we don't just do Thriller. I mean, there's a lot leading up to it. It's just a community celebration. We do flash mobs up and down State Street before that and after that, and lots more in store that evening. And then Sunday is our day in San Ynez.
Oh,
so
right. And you're adding San Ynez.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we always do on Sunday, we always go to San Ynez. But this year is very special because in addition to Solvang, Los Olivos, Neverland, and Cold Spring
right.
Tavern, we're adding several wineries. So we're going to be flash mobbing the wineries in between these other activities.
Now, there is something going on at Neverland Ranch?
We do Thriller in front of the gates of Neverland.
Okay, cool.
To be clear, I mean, no one
Yeah, you
goes
don't go on
into
the
Neverland.
property.
We did it one time. We were invited by the owner at the time, and it was fabulous to visit Neverland. But it is, let me tell you, Jim, if you haven't been there,
I've
or
never been to
recently-
Neverland.
Oh
I've
my
seen
God! I mean,
pictures
if
of it,
you've
but-
lived in Santa Barbara
I
and
know, I
have
need to go
not,
up
and if
there.
you're a music guy and have not been down to Neverland, it's on the way. It's Figueroa Road up on the way to the mountain. Just outside of Los Olivos. Beautiful drive, countryside. You go up to the gate, these big, beautiful iron gates, and a beautiful stone wall, really large edifice there. And people are constantly writing notes to Michael Jackson on the rocks, sticking them between the rocks and the
even
bricks.
today, it
Today.
is
So you
still-
go down there and you'll see fresh notes from people around the world
Just
that have come
recently.
in German, in Spanish, in Japanese.
I was gonna say Japanese.
Absolutely saying, Michael, love you, miss you,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Still listen to you, whatever. But when we dance down there, so we take about a half an hour around 3 o'clock on Sunday, the 30th. So we've already been to Solvang and Los Olivos and wineries. Then we go to Neverland, and it's usually sort of breezy, and the oak trees are sort of moving above our heads, and we do a Michael Jackson sort of little dance party, and then we do Thriller, and it is completely. It's a magical experience. There's nothing quite like it because Michael Jackson really was about the world, and we are very much about the world and what thing we can do to help people, to improve their lives, to just give a helping hand. And so being at Neverland and capturing the power of that place is really spectacular every
Nice.
year. Yeah. And then we head up to Cold Spring Tavern and we do Thriller live. Soul Biscuit, the band, has a big soul funk afternoon there, and they play it live, and we just block off the streets and do Thriller there. And it's really wild and fun. Yeah.
That's great. Hey, if you're just joining us, if you've just tuned in, you're listening to In the Public Interest. I'm Jim Soriani, the host, and my guest this week is Janet Reineck. She is with World Dance for Humanity, and we're talking about the Thriller event coming up on the 29th and throughout various locations in Santa Barbara all the way through Halloween. To get more information, to find out where the events are, and if you'd like to participate in the dance, you can go to their website, worlddanceforhumanity.org/thriller-2016. Or just simply go to worlddanceforhumanity.org, and there's a pull down there. You can click on that, and it shows you all the information. You can also go and find their information on Facebook. Is it World Dance for Humanity on Facebook?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And just go to the Facebook page. Again, World Dance for Humanity, and a lot of information and pictures there about the event. Again, the website worlddanceforhumanity.org. And then tell me a little bit about the dance classes. Now, do you have dance classes that go throughout the whole year?
Oh, yeah. So
tell me
we've
some of those.
I think we've only missed a few classes in the entire 6 years we've been doing this. So we have 5 classes a week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday mornings, and Tuesday, Thursday nights. They're at Santa Barbara Dance Center and also at Adult Ed at Schott Center, and also at the Veterans Memorial Building. So we have this fabulous class on Monday morning upstairs looking out at the Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
it is spectacular. I mean, I've
no better way to work out.
Oh my God. I mean, I've danced a long time, and I've never danced in a place like that where all the windows are open, the fresh air's coming. You can feel the ocean, you can feel the world out there, you know. So anyway, we have these 5 classes, and it's women mostly. Men are invited, but mainly it's kind of a women's class. Young and old, all ages, all abilities. A lot of women who have never danced before. Some women who have danced a lot, but it's basically not worrying about yourself and really just letting go and feeling the music from Africa. We do samba, salsa, always samba and salsa, and African dance, and Irish, and let's see, last night we did some Russian and some Italian, and if something is going on in the world, for example, when the bombing happened in Nice, in France, or anything like that, that's what we do. So after those bombings, we were using French music for weeks. I mean, when there was the Italy earthquake not long ago, we were doing Italian dances. When Arab Spring happened, we were doing the dances of each of those Arab countries as they went through their, that saga. And in order to cut through the bubble that is Santa Barbara and just sort of feel the world and feel humanity and
really
enjoy each other's company and not worry about what we look like, but just take a moment. It's sort of a meditation, taking in the moment, letting go, surrendering what else is you got going in your life, and just appreciating that moment of music and movement and each other.
Nice. And we only have a few minutes before the end of the show, but tell me a little bit about your connection with Rwanda and how did that come together? We
started World Dance working in various different countries with all of the money that came in for the class. So it's a very inexpensive class. It's $750 a class if you sort of take regularly. So we'd had a project in Nepal, and then in Guatemala, and in Ghana, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Liberia. So about every quarter of the year, we would have one of these projects. We would take all the dance money and do something with it. Well, in 2012, we heard about Goats for Life, which is a Santa Barbara-based community or nonprofit working in Rwanda. So we started helping them, buying goats, buying cows for the community, and then the founder, Betsy Kane, asked if I would like to take over her nonprofit. She wanted to retire, and that's what we did. And we inherited the communities that she's working on, which were 7 at the time, and now we're working in 20 communities. We have small businesses. We sponsor kids to go to school and livestock and training, and that's our program. And we go there just about every year with a group of dancers, and we feel intimately connected with the people, and the projects are going beautifully. So we're very grateful for this chance.
Nice. And so when people sign up for the dances, part of their donation goes not only to Rwanda, but also the Notes for Notes or portion?
Right now, all of the money goes to Rwanda, and what we do locally is give our time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
So we volunteer, and then we also go to retirement homes. People that are wheelchair bound, pretty much. Last week we were at Hillside House doing Thriller.
Oh, nice.
And it was fantastic. We go there several times a year. It's a home for developmentally disabled adults,
right.
For those of you who don't know. And it's an extraordinary place, and we just kind of get down and dance and
Fun.
with the people together and really kind of pierce through the barrier, get close.
Again, bursting the bubble like you mentioned before.
Yeah, and that's what we do locally is really connect to people through dance. Alzheimer's residents of some of the homes who music really brings them alive. So with those folks, it's swing music, and we really get going on with that. And that's what we're about is doing what we can locally and internationally, having chosen a project now that really can move if we're focused and directed, and with a little bit of our help, we are really making something happen.
Great. Well, we're out of time, Janet, but thank you so much for filling us in on World Dance for Humanity and what the organization is about and letting us know more about it, and continued success with Thriller and with all of it.
Thank you so much. Everybody's welcome to just come see it and enjoy it, and we welcome everybody. Thank you so much, Jim.
My pleasure. And again, for more information information, go to worlddanceforhumanity.org, Thriller-2016. Again, worlddanceforhumanity.org. You can also look them up on Facebook, same name, World Dance for Humanity. And if you'd like to be a guest on In the Public Interest, shoot me an email to jimontheair@gmail.com. That's jimontheair@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Jim on the Radio and on Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram at Jim on the Air. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. In the Public Interest is a presentation of Rincon Broadcasting, LLC, and was recorded earlier for presentation at this time.